Hi everyone, welcome to Molo Consulting. Now in this episode, we're going to be looking at cooperatives. Now cooperatives of lately, they've become, the most talk about things as far as companies are concerned. Now, we're going to look at what is a cooperative, and we also want to look at the types of cooperatives and the different form of cooperatives and the advantages of a cooperatives. Now, let's start with a simple definition of a cooperative. A cooperative is, if we can say, the business where a group of people get together voluntarily to address their common needs. Now, cooperative is a very distinct form of an enterprise. It provides services and products to its members. Profits known as surpluses in a cooperative are divided among the members relating to the amount of the business each member contribute. Now, by registering a cooperative, you are creating a legal entity with certain powers to act on its own and certain responsibilities. Now, before registering a cooperative, take note of of this, that record keeping that needs to be done for that cooperative. Now, perhaps maybe we can get into the advantages of a cooperative. Now, with a cooperative, one can be able to achieve that he cannot be able to achieve on his own. And also it provides easy access to needed services. By pooling resources, each member pay less for inputs, marketing, distribution, and selling of products. Now, let's look at the types of cooperatives. We have what is called a primary cooperative. That's basically the basic start of all cooperatives. It is formed by at least minimum 5 members. And the second one is what is called secondary cooperatives. Now, a secondary cooperatives are formed when 2 or more primary cooperatives comes together because they are involved in a similar activities and want to promote their services in the sector in which they are active. And then thirdly, it's a tertiary cooperatives. Basically, it's a union of cooperatives that is formed by secondary 2 or more secondary cooperatives coming together. So basically, this is more like a body of cooperatives. Now another thing that we need to look at is the values of a cooperative. Now, these are all I expect to be included in the constitution of the cooperatives, so that there's a working cooperation between among all the members. Like we said, at least minimum it must be 5. One is equality. For the democratic functioning of a cooperative, every member must have an equal chance to participate. 2, self-reliance. Members should not rely on others to get their job done. They should work together to do it themselves. Self-help. Members should not rely on others to solve their problems. They should work together to find solutions themselves. Self-responsibility. Members should not allow others to take charge of their business or blame others in the case of obstacles. They themselves are responsible for making their cooperative work. Social responsibility. Cooperatives have a duty to help the community in which they live and work. Now, like I mentioned, the constitution is very important before anything goes on, that the cooperatives need to have a constitution. The constitution of a cooperative is a document which contains all the rules of how a cooperative should be structured, managed, etc., etc. And then what also is very, very important with the cooperative is basically the name of a cooperative. Now, in the name, it must always indicate what's the main business or the objective of the cooperative. For example, a cooperative that does catering, the name must have a word like catering as part of the name. If the cooperative was a multiple objective, the main objective still appear as part of its name, but words like multi-purpose or other projects will also form part of it. the word primary, secondary, tertiary cooperative limited must always appear at the end of the name.